Conversations, but
on a Wednesday. Revolutionary. And we are live on YouTube as well tonight.
So
this
if
is
you
quite
are
exciting.
just joining us or watching this later, we are first-time experimenters of live streaming.
Guinea pigs, I think, is more like it.
So
we are the guinea pigs.
To all our YouTube followers, our new online church community and friends that we've created. We've actually got some friends.
Wow.
That watch on YouTube.
I just thought you meant we've got some friends.
But we'll talk about that later. Good to see a few of you on there. Lucy, hi, good to see you. And
so
the
good.
rest of you that are on there. Deb, I've not seen Deb for ages, like ages and ages. But Phil looks like he's joining from the bakery. My mum's sacrificing Coronation Street tonight. Kate is on there.
They're all here.
Baby Strawberry. I think she goes to youth.
She does.
Yeah.
She does.
Her real name is?
Jessica.
Jessica. Good to see you,
Jessica.
Jess. There you go. And a new friend.
That's quite well remembered, that, actually.
A new friend that I've made that's just joined. I can't. Javid. I think that's the right. He's asking to be in my video, but it's good to see you anyway. I can't do that just in a minute. But yeah, so great. We're on Wednesday night conversations from Chesterfield, United Kingdom, the centre of the UK.
The universe.
We are the centre. True story. If you get a map out, right? Because we've got a live audience.
There's a few people in here tonight, actually.
There's a few people ready. Listen to this cheer from the crowd. You ready? There you go.
A little crowd.
We've actually got people around
There's
us.
real live people
Not
in
just
front of
our
us.
children, these are real people. But a real thing is that Chesterfield apparently is pretty much close to the centre of the UK. So it is.
So we're told.
The centre.
So we're told. So anyway, why don't you do your little news slot? Because you have a little news slot every week, and I'm excited to hear what news you've got for us this week.
Well, I always feel a bit disappointed about doing this news slot in this particular point, because I do a news slot at the beginning, and that's where we wait for people to join the conversation. Whereas actually, I think
there's probably a reason we put it at the beginning, though.
Basically, okay. So she's saying it's not very good. The slot.
It's all right.
I think it's teach. It's a good slot, yeah. It's a good slot.
All right.
So
good.
I'll tell you just one news item, right?
And we'll let you save one for later.
The principle is this: for anybody joining Wednesday night conversations, always has a little bit of news, and the news is always the stuff that you just don't usually read, because usually you go so far down the news items and get bored of reading or feel a bit depressed. But if you carry on down the news stuff, you find this stuff.
So here's a good question. Since you have been giving us news, who has gone to the bottom of the news section on their phones or whatever you look at the news on and have found some interesting news that you wouldn't have found had he not started doing his news slot? Let us know. Let us know. That'd be awesome.
Like we all give people like Sky News bad press. But actually, they do write some good stuff as well.
Yeah, sometimes.
There is some good. So this one news, we saw it yesterday on Sky News, was all about a camel.
Oh, this is really good, actually.
They had loads of bad news on bad news. And then they said, and finally, this story about this camel that had been sold to some new owners in the Gobi Desert, right, which was 100 kilometers away. So they sold this camel. This camel was so, I guess, missing its owners that it wandered off from its new home and walked 100 kilometers through the Gobi Desert and returned to its own owners without just.
It's crazy,
just left. And
like
went.
a homing pigeon.
Just left,
but
and
a
went.
Camel.
So there you go. That was an amazing piece. I thought that was really moving. I thought people would be moved. I thought people would be interested. But obviously not. But I think that camel is like outstanding. It missed its owners that much. They left its new owners and walked 100 kilometers just to be back.
Would you walk 100 kilometers through the desert to get back to me?
Of course. But my problem with being in the desert would be I'd get extremely lost and I probably would never return. But the intention is always there. I would try to
It gets
back.
Lost in Meadowall.
I do get
gets lost all over.
Is there any other men that are watching this? Maybe some secret men watching this. You know
secret men?
Men that stalk Instagram and stuff but never show up. But I really struggle with my coordination. In fact, I do some fitness stuff with Dan Smith. You'll know Dan. And he laughs at me, but I really struggle to do anything that involves moving my legs and my arms at the same time.
Yeah.
And dancing, I'm no good at dancing either.
You're all right.
Does anybody else struggle with coordination, or is it just me? Is it just me? I don't know.
I think it probably is just you.
Probably
You
just
try,
me.
though, don't you? Like,
Probably
and,
just me.
you know, full marks for trying.
Sure.
We've got 15 viewers on YouTube. That's exciting.
That's great. Brilliant. Good to see you on YouTube, YouTube crew.
Good to see you, Kim.
Lee
and Denise.
Hutton. Lee Hutton. He should
Hey,
come
Lee
and sing for us
Hutton.
live sometime, shouldn't he? He
That's
should
a
do.
good idea.
He should do. Andrew Crew. Good to see Andrew. That's brilliant. Teresa, just tell people
Teresa.
that are watching tonight, just tell people why we're giving a little bit of a big shout out to Teresa right now.
So
and Phil.
Teresa and Phil's daughter has just had quite a traumatic experience and has given birth to this beautiful little girl called Noah, but super early. But it's been amazing this week.
Like
it's been,
super early,
and
like
quite
super
traumatic,
unexpected.
like really traumatic. But it's been amazing this week. We got a message just to say that baby Noah is doing amazing, that she's been taken out from the blue light cot and just put into a different one, and that she's like doing amazing.
We was talking to
it's so good. We are so thankful to God for such amazing miracles.
We was talking to a medic or a doctor,
A doctor, yeah.
last night on Life Group, and
Yeah.
they were saying actually he himself is amazed at the progress
He
of
is,
this young
yeah.
baby, and he said it is nothing short of miraculous
A miracle,
what's happening.
yeah.
So
So
great
that's
to see
brilliant.
Teresa and Phil. Please send our love to your family.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll continue to keep praying that God does great, amazing things with that baby.
Absolutely, yeah.
Amazing baby Noah.
So at present we're in a series in church called This Is Us.
This is us.
Just tell us a little bit about what that means.
So every Sunday, 11 o'clock online, 5 o'clock, YouTube, Facebook, church goes out. We've been doing that now for 20 weeks, which is
My
incredible.
goodness. 20 weeks.
And recently, the series that we're looking at is the series called This Is Us, because we just felt we've all been caught up so much in I guess, a lot of disappointment, a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety of what's happening in the world at present. We felt we really needed to get people, as many people as we could around the UK, around the globe, engage with the fact of what the Bible says about who we are
Yeah.
and what it is about faith that makes us so different, what we can believe for. So we're doing this series called This Is Us, and I think
This
it's
Is
brilliant.
Us.
This week, in fact, This Is Us, we've got a special guest speaker from South Africa.
Brilliant.
From Liberty Church in South Africa. He's also in Namibia, I think, as well, as a country down south in England. He's got churches all over. But a great guy, Pastor DJ and Karen McPhail. They're going to be, DJ speaking for
Yeah,
us
so
this
good. I'm
Sunday.
really looking forward to that.
All the
actually.
way
Gonna
from
go.
Cape Town, South Africa.
Amazing. Obviously via cables.
And he's
but
going to be speaking about This Is Us, and he's going to be talking to us about this. Are you ready for this?
go for it.
Do you know what he's speaking about?
No idea.
He's speaking about miracles.
Ah,
So if you don't believe in miracles, or you believe in for a miracle, or you're just curious about the whole thing, make sure you tune in 11 and 5 this Sunday.
I'm just going to give
And
a
we're gonna
little
be
shout
thinking
out there
about
because
miracles.
our niece is on, Isabella. Hi,
Good to see you.
Isabella.
Isabella. Great
So
to see
good to have you on watching
you.
tonight.
My family crew is growing
Come
on
on.
here. Where's my
Big up.
sister? She should be watching.
Maybe she is. Maybe they're watching it together.
Great. Well, YouTube, Instagram followers, great to see you. We've got some live music coming up shortly. Because we are now live streaming.
Oh, how exciting.
We thought we needed just somebody that would just be like the guinea pig for the whole thing and just try to crash and burn live on TV.
It's very unlikely that this person is going to crash and burn, though, let's be honest.
But it is part of the job description, being involved is like being prepared to. So we've got some live music coming up. We're going to a song that you just be able to enjoy.
So when's that happening?
It's going to happen in probably, I think, 4 minutes. I think is
Okay.
the official time.
Okay.
In about 4
So we
minutes'
were
time.
thinking as well, if we're going to keep doing this, we probably need a theme tune, don't we?
Yes.
We feel like we're lacking in some way, that we're missing out. We're missing out on the good stuff, and we feel like we need a theme tune for our Wednesday night conversations.
We need a theme tune.
So we are putting it out to you guys because this is all about you. And so we want you to help us to come up with a theme tune. So if you've got any suggestions of a theme tune that we could use for Wednesday night conversations, we would love you to send in your ideas, and we will consider them. We're not promising, but we will
We
consider
want
them.
some good considerations of some music. Is there anybody in the audience there? You've got a good theme tune that we could maybe sample, or anybody online? Just let us know, and we'll do it. We need to just practice. I just feel like we need a little bit of a boxing ring entrance kind of song,
Wow.
or the
Gosh.
teams come out on the pitch entrance song, or a. What's that guy that we've been trying to watch, and we've watched probably 10 minutes at a time on a Saturday night? Peter Crouch.
Oh, Peter Crouch. So Peter Crouch has been saving our summer. But what I don't get is this, right? So Peter Crouch did this whole series with him called Save Our Summer. And it's a school holidays, and it's summer, and it's finished. It finished last week. We watched the last one. I was a bit confused about that. Like, why have they stopped it just as summer is here?
Well, Save Our Summer was Peter Crouch's idea, I guess.
So I'm just putting it out there. Maybe we should save our summer.
We're saving...
We are going to save your summer.
Because we're going to do this through the summer, even though we are going to go on a 2-week holiday to Spain. No, we're not joking.
No, we're not.
We're not going to be doing that.
No, we're not.
We're not going to do that. So brilliant. So what we are going to do right now...
I wish we were, but we're
while
not.
you're joining us... stay engaged, stay connected. We're only going to be on here till 8:15, and I know you've got some important things to do.
Wendy Hyam says
But
we
it
should
is
have the Rocky
good.
theme tune.
It is good to stay connected. It is
Rocky
good.
theme tune.
Rocky. Dun, 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 dun. That one. That's Rocky, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, The Eye of the Tiger. I get it. Well, we're not going to sing The Eye of the Tiger now, but I'm going to let him introduce this song himself. So wherever you are in your homes right now, what we expect is to put your hands together. If you're in the studio here, you can put your hands together as well. Wherever you are, put your hands together and please welcome the one and only, the
Eminem.
infamous
Eminem
of Lifehouse Church, Mr. Dan Hutton. Give Dan Hutton a huge round of applause. Oh, come on. Give him a round of applause. Here we go. Dan, so why don't you introduce what you're doing?
Yeah, so everybody, so we're going to sing a Cody Carnes song, so it's Run to the Father. I just love it. I'm listening to it loads at the minute. So yeah, if you're at home, sing along to it. If you know it, or just sit back and enjoy. I'll hopefully not crash and burn, like Paul said, but we'll give it a go. I've carried a burden too long on my own. I wasn't created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. I see it now, laying it down. I know that I need you. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, oh, oh. You saw my condition, had a plan from the start. You're the son of redemption, the price for my heart. And I don't have a contest for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. All I know is that I need you. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, 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 again and again. Oh, 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 my heart is in your sight. Long before my first breath, running into your arms is running from life to death. And I feel this rush deep in my chest. Your mercy is calling out. Just as I am, will you pull me in? I know I need you now. I run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart has a surgeon, my soul has a friend, so I'll run to the Father again and again and again and again. Oh, 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 again and again. Oh, 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 again and again. Again and again.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, I loved that. Do you know what I find really hard though is obviously we're in church.
Sure.
We're not allowed to sing. So I found myself wanting to sing along, but we're not allowed to, are we? So I was kind of like
That's
mouthing
brilliant.
the words.
Great job, Dan. You turn that round. That's okay. Brilliant. Great job, Dan. Give it up for Dan wherever you are. Give him a
Love
huge
that.
round of applause in the studio.
So
Give him a
good.
round of applause. Sorry, you're just a little bit off.
Just a second.
So good that we're able to be on YouTube and Instagram all at the same time.
There we go.
20 weeks ago in the life of this church, we'd only ever dreamed or talked about having an online presence, and now we do YouTube, Instagram, Facebook,
Super
the whole
good.
lot. So good to see you. I did see a few minutes ago, James Keenan popped up on there. James is like a good footballer.
Yeah.
He's a young lad. I think he's dating Leah.
Our
I don't
goddaughter.
think. I know, our
I'm going to say,
goddaughter.
like, why are you confused
So
about
take
that?
good care of Leah, whatever you do, James. There you go. That's my little plug for you. Give me a little
Oh,
shout
gosh.
out. Good to see you. So what else are we going to do?
Oh, we're going to do all sorts. But what we want is, we were talking about like questions, because we say this every week, and it kind of like, I feel like it gets a bit tired, but I'm still going to keep saying it. Like, we want you to send your questions in. Like, if you've got anything that you want us to answer or talk about,
Just
let
to
us
talk.
know. Let us know. So you were thinking like we could do like a quick fire question thing.
We do quick fire questions.
But I'm absolutely rubbish at thinking of questions. If you know Paul very well and have spent any time with him at all, you will know that he is the question master.
I love asking questions.
He loves
I
asking
love
questions,
asking
and he can just come up with a question, just think of something, whereas I am absolutely rubbish at that. That is definitely not in my skill set of asking questions.
What is one of the worst things about me?
the worst thing about you?
One of the things that really grates you about me. Like tell the truth.
So probably when we're working together,
Oh.
you probably think that your way is always right. And so we do have a bit of a discussion about that sometimes.
Now we always promise this will be real.
Always
and it'll
real.
Be raw,
It's always real. We've had a discussion today where we kind of were at loggerheads about
the discussion was this.
about which way the one-way system should be.
About a one-way system.
About a
in
one-way
church.
system. It's not like,
Because the good news is, that's a good link there, because the good news is this Sunday, Lifehouse Church will be open for a church service
Wow.
or church experience.
An
this Sunday.
experience. There's clapping,
There's clapping.
In the auditorium.
Yeah, that's good.
And so this Sunday we are
10:15 this week. These are basics. 10:15 this week. If you're in church, you'll have had an email. If not, contact us. Send us a message. I don't know what you call it, a DM or whatever.
so down with the
I
kids.
always think when people say DM,
Down with the kids.
I always think it means Danger Mouse because when
Do
I
you
was
mean
a kid,
Doc Martens?
or Doc Martens. But 10:15, the doors will open this week. We've got a very strict behaviour policy. We're hosting a watch party. But from 10:30 till 11 o'clock, we're actually going to be live streaming a 25 minute pre-show that will include a little bit of live music. There's no singing in church still currently.
No, it's
There's
singing.
no corporate praying.
No singing.
There's no moving around the room. There's no spending time in your bubbles. It's households only. You do need a ticket.
Tickets only.
Need a ticket.
Don't turn up without a
You
ticket
do
because you're
need
not
a
coming
ticket.
in.
You do need a ticket. No, YouTube hasn't frozen. I've just said it 4 times. You do need a ticket to be able to come in the building. If you turn up and you've got your cuddly bear, teddy bear eyes, and you smile at us really pretty and say, look, I know I've not got a ticket, but please can I come in? The answer will be
no.
no. Sarah will tell you no. I would say possibly, but Sarah would say no.
No.
There you go.
So actually, I'm going to fire that question back at you because I think that's quite an interesting question, actually.
It could cause an argument.
Go for it.
So what's the question? Ask me the question.
What is annoying about me?
So one of my
I love it how he doesn't even have to think about it. It's like, I'm been waiting
this
this.
question for 20 years. We've been married 22 weeks.
22 weeks?
Years.
We married 22
Last
weeks
week
and
we've
have a
been married
16-year-old daughter.
22.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we've been married 22 weeks and we've got a 16-year-old daughter. And we've been leading church for 8 years. There's a good little equation for you. One of the worst things about Sarah would be, I think...
Could do with a drum roll.
I think she'll know what I'm going to say. I just really, I cannot stand people that leave. So I'm giving it a wide berth here. People that leave wet towels on the floor. I just don't like it. It offends me. I just think you've got all this hair that you show off with. It's like she rubs salt into the wound every day by drying her hair, washing her hair.
Can I just
colouring her
say?
hair. And then your towels. Just let me finish.
That's fine. I'll let you finish.
And then your towels, occasionally, you leave them on the floor, which has now developed a habit in the house, because my son has seen that, and he's now developed the habit, and he does it as well.
Cool.
So there you go. Well, that was my...
No, that's good.
my thing.
That's good. I'm just going to say, though, that I do not use a towel on my hair because you should never put a towel on your hair because it's really rubbish.
Well, whatever you use your towels for, pick them up.
I use a T-shirt on my hair.
There you
just
go.
saying.
Pick your
So it's
T-shirt
obviously
as
not
well.
my towel is what
But
I'm saying.
moving on. All good fun. Quick fire questions. We said if there's no questions coming in, have we got any questions that have come in anywhere else? Anybody in the room? Let us know. A quick fire question. Just tell us, real quick, Sarah, what has been one of your biggest disasters in ministry, in church life, that you yourself have given your time to, and it's just like you've been full of faith, you've gone for it, and it's just not worked, and you've been like, that was rubbish.
Oh, gosh.
Tell us.
I know it's quick fire, but I can't think.
What you're trying to say is you've never made a mistake
Well,
or it's
you
never
know.
gone wrong.
I don't like to say. I don't really know. Like, I've done many, many events.
That you were just disappointed with.
I guess. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I can't think of anything that I'm disappointed with because I think if you're going to do something, you just do it, don't you? And if it's not what you wanted it to be, you just move on. Like,
I've done many things that have been a disappointment. Let me
why don't you tell us about the
back in the day?
Back in the day. Why don't you tell us
Back
about
in the day- back in the
youth
day-
event where you hired a bus?
Back in the day,
That's a good
some
one.
of you will know this story well. Back in the day, I was a youth worker. I thought at the time I had hair. I thought I was reasonably cool.
You did have hair. You didn't think
And
you
we
had
were
hair.
doing school lessons for a whole week in Hasland School. If anybody goes to Hasland or lives in Hasland from back in the day, you might remember this. We were in school for a whole week, and on that Friday night of that week, we'd arranged to have this festival vibe of an event
Wow.
here in church. Back in the day, it wouldn't
A
have been
festival
much of a festival.
vibe.
But we got this whole thing planned. It was going to be amazing. went into school all week, did lessons, assemblies. Like I was out on the yard playing football with the kids, like just bonding with people. And at the end of the week, what we said was we got a free double-decker bus, a double-decker. I mean, that is cool, eh? A double-decker bus that was going to bring people back to church here, pick people up from the school, which we'd never be allowed to do now, pick people up from the school, get them on the double-decker bus, bring them to church, come to this event. It'd be amazing. And on the Friday night, I remember wearing my best clothes. I got to school gates. I was like 19 years old. I got a little team with me that were there ready to be greeted by the double-decker driver. The double-decker driver turned up and he said to me, "Where is everybody?"
Oh, my.
And I was like, currently there's only 3 of us that are coming back with you. And I drove all the way back from Hasland to the event with a team of people outside church waiting for us in excitement to greet all these kids. And there was me and 5 other young people on that bus. It was one of the biggest crash and burn moments. I was disappointed.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
disappointed.
sure. But I'm sure you learnt a lot through that.
Yeah, I learnt a lot.
Never to hire a double-decker bus.
Yeah, never to hire a double-decker bus.
That's always a good one.
Never. But you did hire one a few years ago, didn't you?
I did.
Chatsworth.
I filled it as well.
But anyway,
Awkward.
so that's
Just
enough about
saying.
my embarrassments, disappointments. We were going to talk about disappointment, though.
We were actually, because we've been talking about This Is Us, and something that we're quite passionate about is that there's 4 facets to us as a person that we really think are really important in life. And they are spiritual health, mental health, emotional health, and physical health.
Right.
And the things that we try as a couple and as a family to make sure that we are constantly paying attention to. And so we just thought that tonight we would just chat about them just briefly, about the four facets. And so why don't you start us off?
Well, what we were chatting about, because the whole point of doing Wednesday night connections is to connect us together, to encourage each other, to inspire each other, to have a bit of fun, to have a laugh, come up with some crazy ideas. It's always going to be a little bit quirky, live music, guests that we're going to have on here. But one of the things we're intentional about doing is talking about things that affect us, because we think, well, if it's affecting us, surely it affects
affecting
some other
everybody
people.
else, yeah.
And how important is that we recognize the 4 different facets that make us up. A lot of the time we focus maybe on 1 or 2 of them,
Yeah.
but all 4 of them are essential. In fact, I think people only think there's 3 of them a lot of the time that are really important. But all 4 of them are really important.
Yeah.
And we believe this, that as we begin to venture out of lockdown, lockdown has done many things to many people. It has caused a lot of fear, I think. Unnecessary fear at times, probably.
Yeah.
Fear that, I don't know, people have come up with all sorts of crazy ideas about what's going to happen. Rather than being full of faith, some people will be leaving lockdown full of fear. And with the amount of things that lockdown has actually done to people, we think that people should actually individuals should spend time, whether you're married or whether you're single, whether you live alone, whether you house share, whatever your circumstances
whoever you are,
that we have a responsibility individually, not together, but individually, to focus on the 4 facets that make us up. And I guess if we for me, I would pick up on physical health straight away. I think it's really important to look after your physical health. I think we commented a couple of weeks ago, just saying this really quick, but the Bible does teach that not only are you to love God, but you're to love your neighbor, like to love other people as you love yourself, which is all well and good because we want a community where everybody loves each other. And I'm sure you're on here tonight and you would agree with me that we should love each other. Well, we can't physically embrace each other, but we should really care for each other. We want a more kind. Everybody's wearing t-shirts saying be kind. The Bible principle, I think, is brilliant. That says to love God, to love your neighbor, but only as you love yourself. And I think
that's
it's one
a
of
challenge.
the tipping-up points.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
I think I mentioned it in church the other week, a few people got back to me and said, that is a really difficult topic, though, to love myself, because I really struggle with myself. So my encouragement to you tonight is this: to take 1 step towards doing something towards your physical health. Just 1 step. if that is tonight, after you've watched this, that you decide to go for a walk and that becomes part of your daily routine.
It's a great start.
Or I'm going to drink more water, or I'm going to cut alcohol out of my diet, or I'm going to stop eating a certain food product, whatever it may be, to begin to take one step towards your physical health, because your physical health does in fact impact your mental health.
Absolutely, yeah. And mental health's like a huge topic, isn't it? And we've not got time to go into it as we would like to, I guess. But we recognise that our mental health is super important. And at this time where we've gone through lockdown, I feel like there's lots of people really struggling, more so than ever before, with their mental health. And I think it's because, like, we touched on disappointment, didn't we, just a few moments ago. And I think there's been so many things that people have been disappointed about in lockdown. So many things that people have missed out on. Our daughter, for instance, she should have done a GCSEs. She missed out on a prom.
Was she disappointed?
She wasn't disappointed on not doing her exams,
but
the whole experience of finishing school and leaving school and having the last day and a leavers assembly and all those things, they're disappointing. And actually, I don't think we realise just how much it affects us. And I've spoken to many people, lots of people that have missed out on things, and it's disappointing. And to live with disappointment is actually a really difficult thing. And so there's lots of things you can do just to make sure that our mental health is good, and that is to feed ourselves on the good things. We are a society and a people that live on our phones, whether we like it or not. We've always got our phones in our hand, and we are looking for affirmation from our phone these days. We're reading comments on Snapchat and TikTok, and there's so many other things, Instagram and Facebook and all those different things. We're looking for affirmation from people on those platforms when actually we should be looking for affirmation from our loved ones who know us really well, rather than just some snapshot person that doesn't really know us. And, it's important that we feed ourselves with the Word of God. We're Christians, and we believe in God, and we believe in God's Word. And so to actually feed on God's Word is, the Bible talks about it being our daily bread. And it is really that. Without it, we can't survive. We starve. We become emotionally and physically and mentally destitute without God's word.
So we're saying it's what you feed on.
Yeah.
And cut some things out of your diet as well. Not physical diet, but your mental diet. Stuff that you're reading, stuff that you're watching. Find some good stuff to invest into your life that will mentally feed you well.
Yeah.
We're passionate Christians, as Sarah said, and spending a few minutes every day in the Word of God is crucial to our health. Very often people say, why are you so optimistic, people would call it, but ultimately it's because we're full of faith for what God can do moving forward.
So there's a question that actually ties in with this, and it says, what is one thing that you do daily that you would encourage us to do during this period?
Okay.
So, if we're looking at all the different things, then we could give you 4 things, but I think like for me, and I don't do it every day, but actually when I do it, it's really helpful for me, and that is to write a list. It's a simple thing, but to actually get up and write a list in the morning actually really helps me. To write a list of things that I need to achieve in the day, like simple things like make the bed, empty the dishwasher, just things that I can actually tick off a list, so that by the end of the day, I've actually achieved something, rather than just getting to the end of the day and not feeling like I've achieved anything because they're not big things that I've done. So I think find what works for you, like what actually helps you to feel like you've achieved something. Because I think if we feel like we've achieved something, then that's good mentally. That's actually a really good mental thing for us to do.
I think for me, one thing I would do every day that I wouldn't want to miss, and it sounds very twee, I guess, but it would be to sit with a coffee and my Bible and just have, however long that period of time is, to have some time where I can just wait and just be still before God. The Bible encourages us to be still and know that I am God. And yet a lot of the time, most of us, if we're really honest, are not still during the day because we find our affirmation comes through how busy we are.
I think it's really hard, isn't it, to actually be still because we feel guilty.
I heard one great, I'll not mention his name, is a really good pastor from the United Kingdom, leads an outstanding church that we'll leave the name out of. And I remember us listening to him one Saturday morning in a leadership seminar, and he said this thing. He said that in his house he bought a beautiful red chair, a wingback red chair, and he had it in a particular point in his house, and he said he refused to leave his house every day without having some quiet time, just sat in his chair where he would try to maybe have a coffee, read his Bible, and he refused to do it. And he said to the point, though, that literally, if he had to be out of the house on Sundays, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, he would actually know that he's not got lots of time, but he would literally sit in that chair and just commit his day to God.
Which is great.
And say, God, you know I've got an early start today. I've got a busy day, but I give this day to you. And then he'd get up and go. And
but to actually set a point where you actually go to rest and to sit still is actually a really good idea because it's like a focus.
So take a step towards
it's almost
your
like
physical,
writing a list.
Take a step towards your physical. Take some steps, I guess, with your mental side of things. Maybe write a list. Or take time just to rest for a few minutes, dare I say. I would say longer, but for a few minutes. From an emotional point of view, we were talking about emotional health is really important. A real simple thing is we've got these things called, I was looking for my phone, but it's right in front of me. But we've got these things called phones that pretty much everybody's got one now. Even my mum is ready for a new phone. She's kind of confessed last week. She's ready for a new phone, which we're quite happy about as well, because it means that we can communicate a bit easier with her on things like WhatsApp. So like everybody has a phone.
Yep.
I just wonder why people are sat waiting for the phones to ring as opposed to actually reaching out to somebody. And that might be controversial for some people that say, I feel like I can't, or it's a struggle. Everything we're saying tonight is about taking a little step.
Yeah.
And I think for your emotional health, there is a brilliant thing that you can do is to pick your phone up, to dial somebody, or, well, you don't dial anymore, but you used to have to dial, but to tap those numbers in, or to send a message to somebody, and even if all you said was, be great to catch up with you soon, or, hey, I've been missing you, or be good to talk soon. I just think it's brilliant for you because it opens a conversation, makes you vulnerable, and just puts you out there.
Amazing.
And it helps your emotional health.
It's true.
Definitely.
There's a couple of questions actually. Are we right to answer those?
We're sure.
So Teresa's asking, has anyone made a connection with church due to online services? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
It's been brilliant. And the other question that's up there is, what has been your highlight of online church over the period? And I think that's probably been a massive highlight for us. Is that people are connecting online with the services and have plugged into church, have, given us like details of their names and their number and things so that we can stay in contact with them. We've got people that have joined life groups, and it's just really brilliant. It has been really brilliant.
I was talking, a little true story, I was talking to somebody, so this is a true story, I'll not elaborate, but a few days ago I was talking to somebody regarding a kind of a deal that we're trying to get sorted out.
Yeah.
And trying to give this a wide berth. So it was somebody I don't know very well, but I know reasonably well. And his first comments to me were on the phone. He said, it's great to speak to you, Paul, and can I just commend you in the work that you've done with the church? I've loved watching the church services.
So
and
good.
he said these words. He said, it's brought me so much joy.
How lovely.
This
That's
is
so
just
good.
a middle-aged guy.
Yeah, it's somebody that
busy
doesn't come to
life,
church. Yeah.
Doesn't come to church, and them stories are just like, they're
Gold. Absolute gold.
Thank you to all the editing team, visuals, photography, videography.
My
the worship
goodness.
team.
What a team. We started online church with
20 weeks ago
with no team.
With a panic meeting.
And I just think it's absolutely outstanding the way that the team has grown and the way that they have developed and learnt new skills and gone away and made it happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
So good.
It's amazing. I've
That's
just
so
noticed
blessing.
that Dan Hutton's wife has just joined Instagram. Charlotte, Dan has already sung, but what we'll do is, because Charlotte's on
can
now,
sing us out.
we're going to get Dan to sing us out with a snippet of a song that's not a church song, but you can sing anything you want, Dan, with like, obviously be careful of the lyrics. So we're going to try that. The lights are flashing. I don't know whether the lights
like
are flashing
flash and
'cause
say it's time to
the
go.
electric's not being paid properly.
Or we used to have a friend that used to flash the lights when it was time to leave. Maybe
so
that's what it is.
So there was physical health, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health.
Spiritual. We've kind of covered, which is why I moved on, because I just thought, well, we've talked about.
But listen, if you're not in connection with a church and you're watching this, make sure you get connected with the church, or if not, get connected with Lifehouse Church. Drop us an email. Go onto the website. It's dead simple. Drop
Really
us an email.
simple.
Make a connection with us. Reach out to us. Me and Sarah are available all week, every week, and we'd love to be able to make connection with you.
100%, yeah.
So test us out if you don't believe us. Test us
Super
out.
good.
Send us a text. Drop us an email. Good to see you. Darren, over there in Bury. Good to
Hey,
see him. Bury.
Darren.
In Bury.
Darren
So,
Durham.
Dan's going to get ready in a couple of
But
moments.
listen, we've got something that you started at the beginning, and we said that we'd let you finish. You've got another news item for us.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Another news item.
So I told you about the camel that wandered back home 100 kilometres from its new owners, left its new owners during the night, walked across the Gobi Desert and found its original owners because it was just lonely. It was missing its owners. That was the one news. And then the second thing is Banksy. A lot of you heard about Banksy, who is...
I love Banksy.
Banksy is like a very
It's
creative...
like a street artist.
A street artist.
Not a graffiti artist, a street artist.
Most people my generation would call him a graffiti artist.
Brilliant.
But he's a street artist, makes these phenomenal paintings on walls, etc. This week, he gets a lot of criticism, Banksy. I'm all for listening to people's criticism of us, but I'm also there to pick out the good in people as well. He gets a lot of criticism of people for being a little bit controversial. This week, he's got a hotel, I think it is.
I like how you're saying he. It might be a she. You don't actually know who Banksy is.
It is a
he.
he.
Is it definitely
Yeah,
a he?
it is, yeah.
Okay.
His name's David.
Okay.
Banks. Well, I don't know if it is that, but
That's from Mary Poppins, I think.
He's got this hotel that's full of like original oil paintings that he's done that are quite controversial, but it's in this hotel. And he's got one of them this week. He's had it auctioned off. It made, get this, it made £2.2 million in this auction. And every single penny of that 2.2 million has gone towards a hospital in Bethlehem.
Wow, that's amazing.
In Bethlehem, because he's really passionate about it, that is for rehabilitation of people. And like every single penny of that one painting, you see, because we're always quick to pick the negatives out of people, but there's a lot of good in a lot of people.
Have we been to Bethlehem and seen an original Banksy painting in Bethlehem?
Sure.
You must be really passionate about that place.
He, in fact, is very passionate about Bethlehem, but that is a bigger topic, and we are not the people to open that subject up right now.
Yeah, I was just saying we'd seen an original Banksy.
We have.
In Bethlehem.
Well, we hope you're enjoying Wednesday night conversations. You're watching this back tonight, tomorrow. I'm amazed at how many people actually watch it at different times. We've got our new YouTube, because we're live streaming. Get it, live streaming. After 20 weeks, we've made it. So we've got YouTube followers tonight. Our YouTube crowd are out there watching it. You can catch up on it at any point. Keep in touch with everything that's happening at Lifehouse Church this Sunday, 11 and 5, with Pastor DJ McPhail.
It's going to be brilliant.
Cape Town, South Africa.
Dear, what was that?
That was my little voice I put on. For
My goodness.
DJ. He's brilliant. And he's talking about miracles, because miracles still happen.
Absolutely.
We've had Teresa and Phil kind of online tonight who've had this, during this miracle journey at present. I saw Laura Winstanley was on here earlier. Miracle journeys that God's still in the business of doing miracles, and it's not old-fashioned stuff. It's reality. It's real.
It's happening today.
And another reality, another miracle is that we actually have people that engage with us for 45 minutes on a Wednesday evening.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us. We massively appreciate you being with us, and hope that we have had some kind of impact on your day today. And we are just going to head over. Paul's just clicked on the questions thing just as we're about to leave.
Because there were two quick questions, because your daughter wanted to know.
I didn't actually read
food.
it. What did you
Favorite
say?
sandwich filling. She wanted to know your favorite sandwich
Oh,
filling.
it would be like chicken. I'm not very excited.
Just chicken.
I like chicken.
I would
chicken
go,
and mayonnaise.
I'd go chicken and salad.
Okay.
And also, somebody else wanted to know if you have. This is not being cheeky about it. Wanted to know if you have a diet plan.
I do. I follow Weight Watchers. It's true.
She follows them.
The Weight Watchers
And
points.
eats chocolate. There you go.
You're allowed to eat chocolate on
Good
Weight
to see you,
Watchers.
Sam Alsop. Good night to you as well. So we're going to go out. This is for Charlotte. I please hope and pray that she's still on here. We're going to go out with a song from Dan. What are you going to sing, Dan?
Little Lion Man, but without the swear word in it.
All right, okay, yeah. No,
Brilliant.
No.
So we're going to let Caleb take the camera, but we will see you next Wednesday. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you soon. What's the song called again then, Dan? Just tell us.
Little Lion Man.
Okay. Do we know it? We
Yeah,
know
we
the
know.
song, yeah. Okay, there we go. Big round of applause everybody for Dan Hutton.
Weep for yourself, my man. You'll never be what is in your heart. Weep, little lion man. You're not as brave as you were at the start. Rate yourself and rake yourself. Take all of the courage you have left. Wasting on fixing all the problems that you made in your own. But it was not your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time. Didn't I, my dear? Didn't I, my dear? Tremble for yourself, my man. You'll never see all this thing before. Tremble, little lion man. You'll never settle any of your scores. Your grace is wasted in your face. Your boldness stands alone belong the right. Learn from your mother or you'll spend your days biting your own neck. But it was not your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time. Didn't I, my dear? Oh, didn't I, my dear? But it was not your fault but mine. And it was your heart on the line. I really messed it up this time. Didn't I, my dear? Oh, didn't I, my dear?
There you go. That was Dan. Give him a big round of applause. So good, so good. Thank you so much for joining us. Technical expertise.
Thanks.
Gone through the roof just there. I just walked in front of the cameras. Good night. God bless you all. We'll see you soon. Thank you.